On June 23, 2025, a Marion County Sheriff's deputy on patrol in Ocala, Florida, observed a Ford Mustang stopped at an intersection before proceeding through the center of it, nearly striking the deputy's vehicle. The deputy turned around and followed the Mustang. At a stop sign along the way, the driver again failed to stop properly, coming to a halt only after the front half of the car had already crossed the stop bar.
On July 18, 2024 p.m., a patrol officer with the Savage Police Department in Minnesota initiated a traffic stop on Highway 13. The officer's in-car report later entered into the Scott County District Court record, noted the reason for the stop with sterile precision: failure to signal lane change and equipment violation. Cracked dry as dust, sat inside a criminal complaint that would eventually detail 47 seconds of pure chaos. A report that begins with a broken turn signal and ends with the word trajectory. The gap between those two words, a cracked windshield, is a 130 fix. The failure to signal lasts maybe 2 seconds, but the distance between what an officer expects to happen on a routine Wednesday night and what actually happens is measured in heartbeats. 4 heartbeats is all the time he had. Before we go deeper into what the documents actually show, make sure you're subscribed to EvidenceAxis, because we don't just cover the story, we follow the evidence. Think about the visual of the police cruiser's dash camera that night. The frame is steady, the patrol car's hood pointing down a dark Minnesota 2-lane road. Ahead, a pair of taillights drift slightly over the white fog line. The overhead light bar floods the scene in red and blue strobing, turning the inside of the pulled-over sedan into a silent disco of accusation. The officer steps out of his vehicle, the back of his uniform as he approaches. This is the administrative chore of policing. The paperwork that moves.
667, we're in signal 55 routine. The vehicle just pulled in front of a residence, started honking to get residents to come out. What are you doing?
I was coming to the house right here.
Why are you?
And then that still, bureaucratic image shatters because the passenger door of that sedan is about to swing open and son about to turn a clipboard exercise into a kill, or be killed moment. The taillights on that car are not just lights, they are 2 red eyes staring back at a system that doesn't yet know it's been lied to. The officer made contact, the driver complied, nervous hands visible, fumbling for the glove box, the standard choreography. But the passenger was a static charge. The officer asked the passenger for identification.
I'm gonna have you give me your information. You don't really look like a person on the driver's license.
601, do you have further traffic?
23. Spell your first name for me.
I mean, it has been a while.
Spell your first name for me.
B-R-I-A-N-A.
Spell your last name. What's your date of birth?
7/26/2000.
Don't pull it up.
No, I'm saying 7/26/2000.
What's your social security number?
I don't know that by heart.
You don't know by heart?
I don't know by heart.
Okay. Mind if I see this for a sec?
My phone?
Yeah. To look at the picture?
Well, I mean, I could maybe like send it, but I don't like give consent to the phone. I would just rather
I'm
not.
just trying to look at the picture.
Yeah.
What the public record calls non-compliant subject. He refused to provide his name. He refused to exit the vehicle. The officer's tone shifted from request to lawful order. The vocabulary switching from sir to step out of the car. The patrol car's microphone captured the sound of a seatbelt clicking, then a door handle, then an explosion of movement.
Good. Put this down. Put this down. You're being detained right now.
Okay.
Put the phone down. Put the phone down.
RPS signal 28, 1064,
Put the phone down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
1065, 1098.
Yep. Let it go. And put your hands behind your back for now. You're being detained.
Yeah, I still haven't got that answer.
Yeah, because you're not being truthful about who you are.
Sir? But what was the reason of the original stop?
The reason for the original stop, because you made a faulty stop at that stop sign, and because as you were proceeding through that first stop sign that I seen you coming head on with me.
Now watch how the official narrative fragments here. The complaint states the passenger excited the vehicle and immediately charged the officer. That's the sanitized version. The squad camera shows a man launching himself from the passenger seat like a missile leaving a silo. This was not resistance. This was an ambush. Within 1 second, the passenger closed the distance, striking the officer in the face, driving him backward onto the asphalt of Highway 13 as cars passed in the adjacent lane. The officer was now on his back, fight and controlled his own duty belt, his own firearm. The threat is no longer a cracked windshield. The threat is the sensation of fingers wrapping around the grip of your own gun while your spine is pressed against cold pavement. This is the ticking clock moment when a law enforcement officer is on the ground, engaged in a life or death struggle for his weapon, and the nearest backup unit is still 4 minutes away. What separates a 2-day night from a funeral?
While in the back seat, she slipped out of her handcuffs and began moving around, attempting to escape.
The question is not rhetorical. The answer is in that squad camera footage. The answer is chaos.
She's got something in the back, 100%, because she keeps begging me to open the window. She's like, can you open the window? I'm hot. I got the cold air blasting. I'm like, no, because whatever you have, I'm gonna find.
So what's the verdict?
Still hot?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Keep cranking it colder.
Like, I might throw up. I'm trying not to. Hey, is there maybe like an estimate of how far the jail is?
Huh?
Is there maybe an estimate of how far the jail is?
Like 45 minutes maybe? 20 minutes?
Okay.
The officer was losing. He was being overpowered by a suspect who had decided that this interaction would have no peaceful ending. The fight became a blur of elbows and guttural shouts. The suspect gained control of the officer's radio and began striking him with it. Blunt force trauma to the skull. The officer's body-worn audio captures his own breathing, ragged, desperate. The sound of a man who knows that if the gun comes out of the holster, the barrel is not pointed downrange. It is pointed at him.
Where did you just put in my seat? Where did you just put in my seat?
No, it's with my hat falling.
Probably your hat falling.
My buzzer?
Hey Bates, come over here real quick. Watch her. She slipped under the cuffs and I opened the door right as she's putting something in the back seat. Move that close.
646 We're going to be doing northbound on 55th Avenue into a dirt road. The RP5, we follow it all the way. There should be a house on the hill.
Where's your rider at?
Coming from.
No, then it doesn't even matter. I'm going to just search it again at the jail. Yeah, go ahead.
Take a seat.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying. I'm sorry. I'm very nervous. So I can have the
Get in.
The phone.
Good Lord. Let me move this and then I'll just take a peek.
I can't breathe. Is there any chance you could please roll down the window?
What's up?
Could you please roll down the window?
For what?
Because I can't. I really can't. It's really hot.
Right.
I'm not gonna say I can't breathe because I can breathe because I'm talking, but I'm really just everything's just gone.
He held his ground by holding the ground. His ground was the gravel on the shoulder of Highway 13. The suspect kept streamage to deploy his taser. It did not stop the assault. The cartridge fired, the probes connected. The electrical current cycled through the suspect's body for 5 seconds of neuromuscular incapacitation. The man screamed. He did not stop fighting. He got up and charged again. The criminal complaint contains a clinical detail that reads like a horror novel. The officer, now bleeding from the head, managed to create distance. The suspect advanced. The officer discharged his taser a second time. The suspect took the voltage, absorbed it, and continued forward. The electronic scream of the taser is on the recording. The suspect's refusal to yield is on the recording. The system had failed. The technology had failed. The only thing left was the last thing. The suspect reached the officer again. The physical fight resumed. The suspect attempted to disarm the officer for a second time, and that's when the officer did what the state of Minnesota later ruled was the only remaining lawful option. 3 shots. 3 shots fired in the dark on the edge of a highway.
Zone 1, Marion Primary. Marion SO2.
6671, shots fired, shots fired. Marion, I'm on 441, just north of a racetrack. I'm not sure exactly where. I'm outside of my car. She started firing at me from in the back seat.
The suspect fell. The threat officer, wounded, handcuffed the suspect and immediately began emergency medical care. When backup arrived, they found an officer covered in his own blood, performing chest compressions on the man who had just tried to kill him.
Zone 1, Marion Primary. Marion SO2.
6671, shots fired, shots fired. Marion, I'm on 441, just north of a racetrack. I'm not sure exactly where. I'm outside of my car. She started firing at me from in the back seat.
441 at racetrack.
Racetrack 32nd Street.
That's number racetrack at 32nd, 441.
Racetrack 32nd Street.
Man, she's trying to get out of my car.
6271.
Go ahead.
Where are you in relation to your vehicle?
I'm behind my vehicle to the right at a concrete barrier.
Behind vehicle to the right.
What's that?
Is he signal 0?
She signal 0.
Signal 0.
Am I injured?
Example.
The suspect survived. He was transported to Hennepin County Medical Center. Later, in a hospital bed, he provided his real name he'd refused to give at the window. The same identity he'd tried to bury under an avalanche of violence. The criminal history attached to that name revealed a long sheet of violent offenses, an active warrant, and a pattern of escape. He wasn't fighting to avoid a citation. He was fighting to avoid a cage.
I'm going to tell you how I know you're not Brandon. Because I pulled over Brandon. Like 4 days ago. Okay. So are you going to give me your real name, or are we going to have to take you to the jail and figure out who you are?
Yes, sir. My real name is
Go ahead.
R-H-E-A-N-A.
Why'd you give me her name instead of your name? Do you have a warrant?
No, I don't have any warrants.
Are you suspended?
I'm on the very edge. I literally almost have everything like paid off, everything
suspended.
pulled. And
The officer didn't know that. The officer only knew he was fighting to breathe.
ID in place of just identifying yourself.
is valid.
Okay. So it's because you're suspended.
I don't want it completely canceled. And
How many times
so much
have you ever been arrested for driving with a suspended license?
I just got out of prison, and I've been doing so much better. I've been working 3 different jobs, and I paid down full on this vehicle.
The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension investigated. The Scott County Attorney's Office reviewed the file. The findings were delivered with the flat effect of legal prose. The use of deadly force was justified under Minnesota Statute 66, a routine traffic stop, a refused identity, a violent attack, and the state concluding that the officer had no choice but to pull the trigger.
I'll get the door.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Keep your hands up.
Yes, sir.
Come out. Get out. Get out. Out of the car. On the ground. Backward. On the ground. Get away from that gun. On the ground. Get on the ground now. On your stomach.
Yes, sir. It's over there. It's over there. I'll throw it out the window whenever we turn. Yes, sir.
Where's the 0? Where's the signal? Where's the guy here? Right here.
Right
On this side.
No, it's the glass.
No.
Oh. Where's the gun at?
Right here. Literally, right there.
Okay. Did you shoot yourself?
What remains in the official file is a disquieting anatomical report on the suspect's toxicology screen. The blood drawn at the hospital showed a cocktail of methamphetamine and fentanyl. This was not a sober decision to attack a cop. This was a chemical hijacking of the brain's survival instincts. The suspect's system was flooded with synthetics, his pain receptors dulled, his aggression supercharged. The toxicology explains why the taser failed.
It should be.
There's some blood in the back? Yeah, there's definitely some blood in here.
What's medics get roll for your name?
And I don't know my leg or I don't know.
Oh, lean your face up.
Yes, sir.
There's blood splatter on her face.
That's not from there. Oh, there's a lot of blood in here. Right up here, up on the seat as well. You got through there and into the screen in the back.
Yeah, it could be from shrapnel or something.
Yeah.
I'm in ants. Do y'all mind if I?
No.
Sorry, I apologize. Sorry.
And we're gonna add it again.
It explains the feral energy. It does not explain the human cost. The off of the scar on his forehead from the radio battery is faint now. The psychological debris is not cataloged in the court record, but ask any patrol officer what changes after a near-fatal encounter. They'll tell you that every traffic stop after that feels like a loaded chamber. Every passenger window holds a ghost. The suspect was convicted of first-degree assault on a peace officer and sentenced to 108 months in the Minnesota Correctional Facility in St. Cloud. That's 9 years. 9 years for trying to take a man's life and his gun in the middle of a highway. The sentence is a number. The officer's memory is a loop.
Oh yeah. Just unloaded a whole magazine.
Okay. At least
Y'all ready for her to be transported?
Jensen, can you stay with her? Yeah, that's we can get her.
Take 12.
Okay. So Jensen will be test with her.
Because I promise you, she had a gun down in her tootie.
That's it. And we didn't do a female search. That's why I just had a female searcher.
Yeah, he can't, I told him, I said, listen, she had a gun where you can't check.
You can't check.
Yeah. She
was able to get it out while he was in the back seat.
So here's the deal. I'm trying to figure in my mind what is her thought process, because she's locked in.
I think she's on meth. She's methed out. She's grabbed out.
You can't get out.
No.
The deputy sustained a graze wound near his right eye, while the suspect suffered minor injuries from the deputy's returned gunfire. Both were hospitalized and later released. She was charged with attempted second-degree murder of a law enforcement officer, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, providing false identification to law enforcement, knowingly driving while license suspended, possession of and possession of drug paraphernalia. A convicted felon with a prior history of fleeing, theft.
The gap between what was officially said and what actually happened is a chasm. The initial dispatch call was a lane change violation. The man in the passenger seat turned it into a proving ground for how quickly civilized society can dissolve into jungle law. And they always tell you the same thing. They always tell you it was routine, until it's not, and it's not. Here's the call to research. Go find the redacted BCA investigative file on the Scott County case number 2288442. It's a publicly available document. Pull the transcript of the squad camera audio. Read the moment the officer keys his mic after the shooting. Then ask yourself one direct question in the comments below. When the tools of compliance fail, when the taser cycles through and the fight does not stop, what would you do differently in that 4-heartbeat window? We read every response. If this analysis reframed how you hear the phrase routine traffic stop, make sure you like this video, share it with one person who needs to see the evidence, and subscribe to EvidenceAxis with notifications turned on. We don't do outrage, we do exhibits. We'll see you on the next one.